a lug that attaches to a musket and allows a soldier that's armed with a musket to fight in hand-to-hand combat without reducing his ability to fire his weapon. This was actually kind of revolutionary for the point, so when you're seeing soldiers armed with a rifled musket and a lug bayonet, a socketed lug bayonet, you're actually seeing the evolution of about 300 to 400 years, of several hundred years of military technology. A lot of this traces back to the original, the English Civil War, where they were fighting with pike and musket, where half of your infantry would be armed with a black powder firearm, a matchlock black powder firearm, and the other half would be armed with a pike, a large 12 to 16 foot long pike. What the pike does, what the pikeman's job was to defend the infantry, the musketeers, against cavalry. Because one of the biggest fears that a infantryman has is being ridden down by a man on horseback, because he has very few ways to defend himself from a man riding him down on horseback with a stick. So what they started doing, and well, what they would do is they would split their infantry, like I was saying, into musketeers and pikemen. But the problem is that whatever your infantry is doing, half of your men are not being used effectively. If they're engaging at range with muskets, half of your men are standing there holding pikes and not doing anything. If they're fighting in hand-to-hand combat, the musketeers really aren't as effective. They might carry a sword, or if they don't have a sword, they'll simply invert their musket and swing the stock like a club. But whatever they're doing, half of the men are really not being very effective. Their first attempt to try to remedy this was a plug bayonet, which is about as bad of an idea as you would imagine, because you have to, it's literally a knife that you have to ram down into the muzzle of your musket. Congratulations, you're a spearman. You are no longer a musketeer. You cannot fire your musket while you have a plug bayonet lodged in it. So they became tactics to try to feint cavalry charges to get musketeers to fix their bayonets and then no longer be able to engage the enemy at range. They eventually would develop socket bayonets and lug bayonets. The problem with the early ones is they had a tendency to fall off. But once they've gotten to a socketed bayonet with a lug, it's able to hold in place effectively without limiting my ability to load and fire this musket from the muzzle. You can run through all the loading and firing that we did earlier today with the bayonet fixed. You do have